Hey everyone, how are you this week? Welcome to our podcast, No Title Needed. We are here at the beautiful Feinstein's Cabaret at the Hotel Carmichael in Carmel, Indiana, USA. I'm Cynthia Collins.
I'm Scott Osborne.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Oh, I am too. These are our pilgrims and our pumpkin pie and, but more importantly, our guest, Taylor Hahn.
Hi.
And thanks for joining us. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Oh my gosh. And so we just have our little Thanksgiving decor here because obviously this week is Thanksgiving. So I'm sure everybody's getting revved up. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, with pies and such, which we have our little pumpkin pie, but we are not going to touch that.
Makes it tricky.
We're not going to touch that until the end.
I'm distracted.
But as always. So Taylor, tell me, you are, well, your specialty is women's health.
Yes.
Correct?
Absolutely.
Which
yeah.
is obviously incredibly important. So, I mean, just tell us. I would say, why women's health? As a doctor, you know,
Yeah.
you could go into any specific area
Yes.
you want. Why did you choose women's health?
I think in general I went into medicine just with, I think a lot of us go into medicine just with the goal of helping people and helping people live their best lives. Mm-hmm. Once I got into my medical rotations and realized that there was really a need for women's health and I could really see myself growing with that career field, that's kind of what got me into it. I love people, but especially I love helping people in their most vulnerable moments and some of the happiest moments of their lives too.
What specifically? Right now, actually.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the present, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing right now, specifically,
right
for women's
now-
health? For women's health.
Yeah,
You
right
know?
now I practice as a gynecologist, so we do full scope women's health, but with a focus on menopause and intimacy care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that menopause. That's a humdinger.
Yes.
And
Want to know?
sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say sorry, Scott. I would say that's actually something that you probably need to know, at least
Yeah.
have a good knowledge of to potentially help family members, a partner in the future.
That's
Could
true.
you give me some of
That's
the
true.
initial
That's
introduction
true,
then?
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
if I need to know, let's hear it.
Yes. So I think a lot of it is realizing that a lot of symptoms that women experience that they oftentimes don't talk to anyone about or tell anyone about because they think as women, we're just supposed to
You're
grit
gonna
through
handle it. Yeah.
and handle
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta be tough.
And go about your day
Yeah.
and take care of the family and take care of yourself and others. And I think we're getting into a time in medicine and especially with media and social media that people are really finally starting to talk about it.
Oh,
Sounds
yes.
really difficult to have that expectation to still go about the day when that's affecting you so
Well, you get
drastically.
hot flashes and you get
Absolutely.
the hormones are going,
Yeah,
that's
and-
changing. Your body's changing.
It is. Everything is changing, and if you don't have somebody that you really feel comfortable talking to about it, then sometimes you kind of just feel alone, like you're walking that path by yourself.
Yeah.
So
Waking up
so
in
that's
the
really
middle
kind
of
of
the
my
night.
goal as a gynecologist is
Yeah.
to really help you through that time period and give you all of the tools and resources and education to help you make good choices through that time.
Because some people, not saying the subject, but some people, it's different times.
Yes.
Sometimes women will go through menopause
Absolutely.
and then others. It's like 10. It can be like 10 years.
It can.
Can it?
On either side, too. So you can start having symptoms even before you ever, stop having
Right.
that lovely time of the month.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fun too.
Yeah.
See everything we have to put up with.
Learning.
Where do you practice right now?
So right now I practice at HerMD in Carmel City Center.
Okay.
They are...
Oh, you're right in the city center.
Yes, in the
Oh,
city
okay.
center. So right around the corner from Cake Bake and
Yes.
and all of
Oh,
the main.
Cake
Actually, right
Bake.
around the corner from where we are with
Yes,
Hotel Carmichael.
I work out at InCycle, so I know
Oh, yes.
exactly where you are.
Yes,
We
yeah.
just sit on our bikes and watch all the people go in and out of Cake Bake.
Yes. Yes.
But we're sweating to death.
Yes.
It's torture.
I mean, here's here's what I think that women's health gets the least funding. I think
does.
women's cancer gets the least funding, like breast cancer, ovarian cancer.
Absolutely does.
And I know, especially with what you do,
Yes.
with with ovarian cancer,
Yeah.
it's even very, very hard to detect
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
absolutely. We see a large patient population that has, especially for my patients who have survived and thrived through cancer, but you don't do that with being in isolation with yourself, right? You do that by opening those conversations and really making sure that your patients feel equipped to not just go through that process of cancer treatment, but what the aftermath looks like after. For a lot of patients, it can be really devastating, not just to their families and how they're going to provide for their families, but also just in general their overall health.
Yeah. And you're, so it sounds like you're just not the gyno. I
Yes.
mean, we say gyno, or
Yeah.
but yes, you're technically, that's what you do, but you're helping,
Yes.
you're going beyond that.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
So that's
with your patients.
Yes. The type of care that I like to provide is not what we were taught in residency. You know, the residency training that we get is more so focused on those reproductive years and delivering babies and all of that, which is amazing, and I love that part of my specialty. But I really saw that there was a huge component of my education missing, and really had to seek out that extra education and training.
You did that.
I did that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You took it upon yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's important, you know, when you have
Yeah.
a patient who comes in and you're trying to have a conversation with them and you don't even feel equipped to be able to answer those questions, how do you think the patient's going to feel?
Right? Like, what am
Yeah.
I doing here?
Yeah.
With this doctor who
Yeah.
can't. And a lot of times it is like that. Like,
It
you
is,
have no
yeah.
answers.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So kudos to you, my God.
Thank you.
You know, I'm changing my doctor right now. Don't listen. All right, listen, we're going to take a little break. We'll get back with Taylor Hahn in just a moment.
Hey there, we're back with No Title Needed with Cynthia Collins and Scott Osborne, and today our guest is Taylor Hahn. Oh
my
lost
God,
one of
Scott.
our guys. Oh,
Up the Pilgrim.
that's obviously not
Stop
what I wanted
it.
to
Look,
do.
they've had a, listen,
Aw,
they've
look
had
at
a
that little-
long day.
They've
just
had a
wanted
rough
to get
night.
close to each other.
They've had a rough night, those two. They're holding hands. They're very close.
So Taylor, what initially drove you to your profession, and how has your profession changed in the time that you have been studying?
What initially drove me to obstetrics and gynecology was the ability to take care of women across their lifespan. So, you know, we're going all the way from the lovely years of puberty all the way through the entire lifetime. And I loved that aspect of getting to care for women through a lot of different life events and just memorable times in their lives. What I see now as a specialty is that it's no longer acceptable to just to be as paternalistic as my specialty has tended to be in the past, where you know a patient comes to see you and you just tell them what to do and they take that at face value. I think a lot of people are interested in educating themselves as well, which I love.
Which they should.
Yes,
I mean, it's hard, but you have
absolutely.
to educate. Now, especially, you must educate yourself
Absolutely.
about
yeah.
what is, if something's wrong.
Yes, yes. And I think that we maybe didn't see that before, or maybe we didn't accept that before, but I treat my patients and their visits more as a conversation instead of a dictation of, hey, this is
Yeah.
what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I really think that patients tend to appreciate that a little bit more, as far as just, hey, let's just talk about what I'm feeling, what my options are for management or treatment, and making, we talk about shared decision making a lot, as far as really getting the input of the person that you're trying to help.
Well, you put them at ease. So when they're
I hope so.
comfortable. Well, you seem like you're that kind of person. I've known you for about like 10 minutes. But no, but yeah, it seems you're putting the patient at ease.
Yes.
You're not doing a consultation. You're doing a conversation.
Yes.
Sometimes
said.
it feels like an interview in the doctor's office instead
Yes.
of it
Isn't it
feeling like a
right?
conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, would totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I would. I mean, listen. No,
I don't get
think
that
anyone,
normally. I feel a
what
little-
you're doing. No, but
Yeah.
like you say, anything, and you know, any whatever you're going to the doctor for.
Yeah.
I think that should be part of your training.
Yes.
You know,
bedside manner.
they called the old
Yeah.
bedside manner. I have no idea. I'm sure it's changed over the years that they are probably giving that a little more to doctors. now.
I
Are
definitely
they?
think so. Yes. Yeah. We go through pretty extensive training and simulation of what it's like to really talk to a patient. And it can be really nerve-wracking when you are initially in that setting, because you're wanting to present that feeling of authority or expertise in your specialty, right? But you're also wanting to actually connect with a patient and really get to know what their story is, so that you can best take that information and
treat them.
and treat them well. Yeah.
Right. Mentally, not just physically.
Exactly.
You're trying to treat them so they feel good mentally as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty damn important.
Yeah.
You know. So, Scott,
Cindy.
what is the question of the
All
week?
right, the question of the week.
Don't listen. You don't
This
get
isn't
to
for
answer.
you. What is a question that you are most often asked in your line of work?
Oh gosh, there's a lot of questions, but I think probably related to, comprehensive women's health is probably the question I hear most throughout the day is why didn't I get taught this before? Or why wasn't I told this before? And I always just like to highlight that it may not be the fault of your prior practitioner or clinician or anything. It's really just that lack of education. And so we're trying to change that across the country, but that takes time. And
As everything does.
and it takes interest too, right? You have to have more providers who are really interested in this part of women's health, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow.
I do. What about you? What are you asked all the time?
Mine's not as deep.
Do
As a
you?
sculptor,
I thought it might be about your hair. No, go ahead.
but for me as a sculptor, it's more along the lines of how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
How do you plan on taking that on? And
I believe that.
Yeah, so,
some of the things you've told me, I'm going to build this. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah, how do you plan on doing that? So that's as simple as that is. That's most frequently asked question.
Yeah.
Okay, as an actor, you do get asked sometimes the very general questions. One is, to me, it's so basic. How do you learn all those lines? I cannot tell you how many times
Had that
people
question
have
before.
said that to me.
Yes.
How do you learn all those lines? And to me, it's nothing. It's just part of that's the easy part.
Yes.
Learning lines, but that is a real common question.
Yeah.
And it sounds very basic.
Yeah.
But it seems very difficult.
But you get
No.
asked it a lot. And I always
Absolutely.
say, well, that's just part of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I love that.
yeah, I know. All right.
I think it's
what do you
time
have? You have a little
for pie.
You have a little. We have a pie.
I think
We
it's
have
that time.
time for pie.
All right.
But what do you have behind our pilgrims? Dun da da da.
Got some.
I don't put that on my pie.
some blue.
Some blue stuff?
foam. I love it. Would you like some?
Absolutely.
All right. Tell me when.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's good.
All right.
Oh, it's like you're welding.
Right.
How do you do that? I'll just take it out of the can later. Don't worry about it on my pie. You can put some in here.
Would you like some in your
Put some
coffee?
in there. Oh That's good.
Too much.
Look at that. I'll stir it with my fork. All right, Taylor. Thank you
let's
so
get a
very much.
It
We're
has
all going
been
to take a little bite
so
of pie here.
wonderful.
Thank you very
so
much.
for
And
having
what
me
you do
on.
is honorable, and it sounds like you go above and beyond your call of duty. And so,
definitely try,
thank you
yes.
on behalf of all women, and
Thank you.
And men.
and men,
And men,
Yes, and
yes.
men.
who are
Thank you.
who are with
Yes.
women,
Yes.
Keeping
and
keeping all the
and
women
who
safe.
know a woman,
Yes.
and who have a mother or a sister or an aunt, a cousin, a spouse, all the
Yes.
above.
Loved one.
Thank
in
you.
general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thank
We
you.
all have one.
Thank you, pilgrims. Thank you for joining us. Everyone have a wonderful, guess you're not waiting. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving with whomever you spend it with. And just be thankful for what we have here and what you have in your life. And, that's what I do.
Yes.
And just be grateful for what you have, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And thank you
Yeah.
again, Taylor Hahn. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Cynthia
for having me.
Collins.
Scott
Thank you.
Osborne.
And thanks for joining
no title
us.
needed.
Yes, for no
And
title needed.
Thank you again, Hotel Carmichael.
Oh,
and
thank you. Oh,
Feinstein's
yes.
For letting
Of
us
course. Thank
enjoy
you,
their
Feinstein's.
facility.
The lovely cabaret here. Come see a show here.
Beautiful.
You won't regret it. I don't think they have anything on Thanksgiving, but we'll all be home stuffing our faces with turkey.
Yes.
And maybe watching some football.
Maybe you will be.
Maybe some watches.
I'll watch the parade.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll be it. All right.
Done.
Goodbye. We're leaving now. We're
See
going to
ya,
get high. Bye, everyone.
Time to eat.